Well, the Catalyst expansion is right around the corner, and we've got some absolutely serious tips and tricks that you can use to prepare and make billions of ISK preparing for the Catalyst expansion. So if you want the best EVE guides, you came to the right place, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in, everybody. Loru here, digital advertiser, content creator, and EVE enjoyer for the better part of 10 years now. And there's a lot of key things that you can do to prep for the Catalyst expansion. The first thing we're going to talk about is where the heck can you get Sisters of Eve loyalty points from. Let's talk about how you can get these and where you can get these from. So the Sisters of Eve are how you get the Astero, the Stratios, and the Nestor, and yes, the upcoming Odysseus ship. This is going to be the new battle cruiser. It's going to go right here. It's going to slot right in here for the Sisters of Eve ship. Why you need to go get these loyalty points is because it's very obvious you're going to need to get the resonators to make the various things that are happening. Let me show you what the heck I mean. If you go into the Stratios blueprint, you can see these Sisters of Eve net resonators. These are needed to make the Stratios. Since the Odysseus is a Sisters of Eve ship, it's likely you're going to need a lot of these resonators to make the Odysseus, the brand new Tech 2 ship. These spiked in price when this was announced. You can capitalize on this by going to go get these with the loyalty point store from the Sisters of Eve and get a bunch of ISK therein. Let's talk about how to find the missions for Sisters of Eve. What you're going to do is you're going to come down to, is it agents and missions? Good. Let's go to career agents. I think it's mission agents. Yes. And then let's go to security agents. Okay. Or there it is. Servant Sisters of Eve. Any level within 5 jumps. You can set this to any security. Let's go to any distance. Where is the closest one? There it is. Here it is, chat. Home. In the agency tab, press Alt-M. Agents and missions. Mission agents. I'm going to do security agents. You'll filter the faction to Sisters of Eve, and you can find the closest one. Any distance, any security. Here we go. Now, you can see the 2s and 3s next to this. Level 1 missions are going to be very easy to do for newer players. Level 4 missions are max skilled missions. You can do them in battleships, battle cruisers, and yes, marauders. We have some fits for you to go do these in 5 minutes. You can definitely go get it done. I recommend if you're new to start in the ones in high sec level 1 missions. Some of these are in low sec and null sec. Maybe avoid those. If it's in dangerous areas of space, I guarantee you these are being camped by PvPers to be able to go take out people trying to go do Sisters of Eve missions. So looks like the highest one I can see is level 3. That's because my rep is only 3.1. This number right here. The higher this is, the more missions you can get. Let's talk about that for just a second, okay? You can get level 4s only if you have level 4 reputation with that character. Let's bring up my reputation tab in my character, interactions, standings. Character, interactions, standings. We're going to find Sisters of Eve. Somewhere I have to scroll through. Here it is. You can see I'm at 3.4. You can grow this by doing more missions, doing more things. Okay, so I can only see level 3 missions max because I'm not at 4.0. This is the place where all of your standings lives. How can you grow these standings? We just mentioned you could do some missions, but I wouldn't recommend just doing missions. Start by going to your social tab in your skills and making sure you have connections as high as possible, diplomacy as high as possible. Basically, train all of these as high as possible, champ. Okay, you want most of these at 4s at a minimum. You can look at the ones I have here and get them to a 4 as high as possible. Standings are confusing, but let me make it kind of simple for you. If you go do missions for a faction, your standings with them will increase. Makes sense. If you have skills that increase the multipliers of those, they increase faster. Okay, so now here's my question to chat because I don't remember this. They're talking about the epic arc. I know that the Sisters of Eve epic arc can give you a lot of empire standing, the Bloodstained Stars. This is one of the ways you can get your Galente, your Caldari, whatever Mimitar faction standings up. I don't remember if the Sisters of Eve epic arc gives you Sisters of Eve rep. I don't remember this. Maybe someone in chat can answer this. Normally, I would recommend you go do an epic arc, but the Sisters of Eve Bloodstained Stars epic arc is typically used to get a crap ton of factions standing. You can see here, I literally choose the Minmatar commander because I chose to get Minmatar standings from this. It doesn't give any Sisters of Eve. There it is. So even though there is a Sisters of Eve epic arc, it does not give Sisters of Eve loyalty point standing, etc. So the epic arc is something you can't really use for this, but you can go to mission agents, security agents, filter to Sisters of Eve, and go do this. You don't have to do combat. You could do distribution. And chat, we have a really good guide. Let me see if there's a Sisters of Eve. Is there a hauling Sisters of Eve mission? There it is. We have a really excellent guide that I will link in the description for you. That is a Viator level 4 hauling missions. Very easy, very chill afternoon. You've had a long day. You don't want to go do crazy amounts of combat missions. Yes, you can go do level 4s in a Viator. I'm trying to search it while I talk, but if I can't find it, I'll make sure to show it to you. Yes, here it is, chat. I'm going to put this video in the description. It's so old. I had a baby mustache, and yes, this still works. This is our chill level 4s. Oh my God, the absolute flashbang. You can take a Viator out. Any of the tech, this was when it was starting to be grown as well. Yes, you can see it's still being washed. Very excellent video here. I'm going to include this in the description for you because you can do distribution missions. This is space truck driver missions. Still make money, still make standings, and it can be making standings a little bit faster. We detail out how to do that. In this, I have a bit of a cold, chat. Thank you. In this video, go watch that video. We have timestamps for you to be able to check it out. You don't just need a Viator. You can do any blockade runner. That will be in the description for you. So, to sum up, how to get Sisters of Eve loyalty points is to go do agents, mission agents, distribution agents, security. You could do mining. You could do whatever of these. Filter to Sisters of Eve and get those loyalty points. Where then can you sell those loyalty points? Let's open up our wallet. We just got doing one of our hype train giveaways. Thank you to all the viewers that are giving even bigger, better stuff. Owls, looks like you gave another 200 million ISK. God bless you. I'll save that for next time. Thank you for that. You can click your wallet, go to LP Corporations. From here, you'll be able to find Sisters of Eve. And I don't think I have any because I haven't done any. But when you do your Sisters of Eve mission, you'll be able to see the loyalty points here. Now, let's read Sisters of Eve. When you see State Protectorate, let's just, for this example, read Sisters of Eve. You're going to be able to get to the closest loyalty point store. This will let you buy items. So for the Sisters of Eve, for this example, I can go to this station through HiSec. Okay, I can set my destination. This is 3 jumps away in HiSec. Chat, please listen to me. If your closest destination is nullsec, is lowsec, is a dangerous area of space, can I find one that is a bit scary, is a bit spooky, please do not go buy your resonators, your loyalty point store stuff in dangerous areas of space where you will lose all your big stuff. The moment that this was announced, the gankers are out and the gankers are looking to take your items. They'll let you dock up, and then once you exit the docking station, they will kill you and take your hard-earned loyalty point stuff. Don't do that. So, chat, here is what a loyalty point store looks like. I can show you because I'm in Jeddah. Here is what it looks like. Okay. This, I have some various things I can use here. What you can do is you can filter to show affordable only, and you can make sure to buy items you can only buy. So, Sisters Core Probes, Sisters Expanded. There's also Combat Probes, Core Probes. This is one of the ways you can buy these, chat. And yes, there's a Hull Energizer blueprint. I've never seen one of those before. I don't know what that is. SOE, you can keep this in. There it is. Sisters of Eve Net Resonator. This is the big one. You want to get these. This is what's going to be used to build stuff. Look for these in the Sisters of Eve loyalty point store. Filter to affordable only. This will cost you ISK plus loyalty points typically to get. That's okay. Spend the ISK. You'll be able to make some more. Do your calculations. That's how to do it. So that's how to find Sisters of Eve. That's how to get their loyalty points and how to spend them, bring them back to market and sell them, or use it to make your favorite ships. Okay. Let's talk about how to get the new ore BPOs. So as announced on stream, the Pioneer is the Eve ship. Editor here, you can take this part out actually. Let me talk about this. Okay. Let me talk about this. The Pioneer, I will open up Reddit for this. That's fine. Okay. The Pioneer is the new... All right. The Pioneer is the brand new Eve ship. It is a mining ship. It is going to be an ore-focused ship. This is a test server image. I'm not going to show you yet because I don't know if it's ready to go yet. This is a new destroyer that is going to be for alphas, and alphas can do it. Now, there was some confusion in my news video talking about this. I want to be super clear about something. At launch, the blueprints for the Pioneer are going to be very expensive. They're going to be very expensive because there's only one place in space you can actually buy them. If we go check out the Retriever blueprint, you can see in Jeddah, these are going, the blueprint for the Retriever is 2.2 billion ISK, sold by a player. How you know this is sold by a player is because the expires is in 3 months. If you ever see something that expires in 1 year or more, then it is going to be a NPC. So you can see this antimatter blueprint sold in Jeddah expires in 1 year. This is an NPC. These orders are seeded in the market and will keep spawning. This is the base. Think of this as the floor price for these blueprints. You can see the Retriever blueprint is not an NPC order, and it is being sold by 2.2 billion. This is a player. Why this is so expensive is because the base Retriever blueprint is actually gotten in ore space in nullsec and goes for 1.7 billion ISK. So let me go find it. If we look at Eve Tycoon, you can see that the Retriever blueprint is being sold for 1.7 billion ISK in the outer ring of nullsec. These 4 areas of nullsec are the only places, as of this video, to buy ore blueprints. Ventures, Retrievers, Covetors, Rorquals, Porpoise, and yes, I expect the Pioneer, the new alpha-friendly mining destroyer, will be sold here as well. What you can do is you can get in an alt, in a burner clone, empty clone, get in a shuttle, very cheap, and go out to nullsec with an alt and park your alts there. Every gate is camped. I went to the outer ring and was murdered. Every gate was camped. Exactly. So maybe it's going to be very dangerous. You might die. Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice we are willing to make. So let's talk about how to get in. If it's camped, and it sounds like it is, Eve Tear, thank you for your sacrifice, chat. Can we get some 07s for Eve Tear? Going out to nullsec, getting blown up, exactly. So, well done, Eve Tear. What you can do is have a shuttle, okay? You can also fly an interceptor, okay? An interceptor is going to be easier to fly around in. We do have, for example, and I'll put this fit in the description for you. This is a Travel Ares, okay? That is going to be able to get there, and I'll fit this with a couple. I think this is good for y'all to be able to do this. You can fit an interceptor to be able to try to get past the blockades. So your nullifier is going to make you unbubbleable. Your sub to align is going to make you very difficult to lock. And your fast speed going 4,700 on grid is going to make you very difficult to catch if somebody does not have a disruptor on you. And we do have an improved cloak just to be able to go to a safe and cloak up and call it a day. It's going to be dangerous to get out there. People are camping every single gate with smart bomby boys. This is a bit low on the EHP, and you might get smart bombed and die. Remember our Operation BPO? Remember our Operation BPO, chat? I give you the luxury yacht, chat. This is the ship that we used to go get 50 billion ISK from nullsec, 50 billion ISK, to go out, and we got a bunch of those BPOs, and we survived the nullsec. And this is a cruiser level special ship that has 20,000 EHP. This will survive 2 rounds of Macarial smart bombs. That's the difference between this ship and other covert ops ships. This is a covert, excuse me, I have a cold chat. This is a covert ops interdiction nullifier, sub to align. Yes, 500 million. It's got those Shadow Serpentis eye stabs. You only need 2, you don't need 3. It is 500 million, but it will survive and get you out there with a warp core stab. And yes, if we get scrammed and can't get out, we do have an overpropped, we have a cruiser level, afterburner. This is a cruiser level that can go 2300 with this. Okay, so this is the ship that you can use to get out there. It's what we used on our Operation BPO. You've got a couple options for you. This will be in the description. We'll also put our travel Ares in the description for you. You can also use, just in general, covert ops ships. You can use ships like the Prospect. We have a travel Prospect that's 30 million ISK. That's just a covert ops cloak. Without the micro warp drive, you can get it down to sub 4. This is a very fast moving ship to be able to go faster on grid to make some bookmarks if you want. There's a lot of ways you can slice this pie. What I'm trying to tell you is there's a couple ways to get out there. The first way is in a shuttle. A shuttle is probably going to get killed, but it has a low investment. The second way is in any covert ops capable frigate. You can immediately cloak. The problem is you're going to have a lower EHP. You can fit an interceptor. An interceptor is going to be a high skill point ship, and it's going to be a bit on the expensive side, 40 million ISK, but it's going to be able to let you have all of the tools you need. We have no bubbles, go fast, sub 2, sub 3 with the micro warp drive, sub 2 with this. You can also fit, finally, a yacht. This is my personal fit. It is expensive, but it is one of the safest options. And chat, listen, you are never safe in the evil. No matter what you do, you're going to die. There's always an option for death. That's the game. But if you get out there and if you get an alt into one of these stations, keep them there and here's my next tip. Don't buy the blueprint the first day. Wait till the second day, the third day. The hype will die down. You'll make less money, but the risk goes down exponentially. The last thing you need to bring, and chat is already kind of picking up on this, you need to bring the Pochfin Express, ladies and gentlemen. Here's what that looks like, okay? You can get any of there's 2 things you have to understand with the Pochfin Express. 3 things, really. This is how to get out of nullsec. That's how to get in. Let's talk about how to get out. You can do an Amicus too. It's totally possible. Here's how to get out. You don't want to gate out. You don't want to slow warp out. You're gonna die, you're gonna lose all this stuff. Instead, use the Pochfin Express. This has been nerfed. It is way less powerful than it used to be, but still good. Still better. Still easier than you, slow gating yourself out of nullsec. Here's how to do it. You're going to be getting any of the Cry filaments. You can get any of them. These are the cheapest ones. These are the cheapest ones because they take you into a certain constellation of Pochfin. These are 20,000 ISK, not 20 million, 20,000. Pochfin is shaped in a triangle. Cry Perun will take you to this side. Cry Savarog will take you to this side. Cry Velez will take you to this side. That's how that works. Okay, so when you do this, you're gonna warp. Let's say you're docked in a station. You will warp to a bookmark. You will warp to a safe. Warp there. That's step 1. Okay, have a safe. You're gonna have to do. I can't spoon feed all of us to you. Okay, I'm just gonna give you the general how to do this, and then go do it. Just be careful, chat. I get chat, I know that this video is gonna get some people killed. I know it will. But here's the deal. I have to make this video because the only way that the Pioneer prices are gonna get low as soon as possible is if a lot of you get the blueprints out of the outer ring. So literally Farquad meme, I have to do it. I have to make this video. Just let me tell you this. If this freaks you out, if you don't want to do this, my goodness, don't do this. You're going to die. You're going to lose a lot of money. Please, if all of this is gibberish to you, don't even attempt this. The last warning I'm going to give you. Okay. We talked about how to get into nullsec to buy ore blueprints. Here's how to get out. You're going to undock. You're going to warp to a save point. That's step 1. At the save point, you're going to use your Pochfin Express. That's number 2. You're going to use the Cry Perun filament. Okay, you're going to get the Cry filaments. These are cheap. When you do this is going to warp you into Pochfin. This is going to put you into a random spot in Pochfin. This is going to be still very dangerous. I live in Pochfin. My corp lives in Pochfin. They are hearing me say this and are wringing their hands because they know that a ton of you are going to enter Pochfin with loot. The pinatas will be in Pochfin. You're not going to stay where you pop out in Pochfin. You're going to warp. Once you're in Pochfin, step 3 is you're going to warp to a planet and make a safe on the way. That's step 3. Make your safe. Once you warp to the planet, you're then going to warp to your Pochfin safe. Once you're at your Pochfin safe, that's step 4. Once you're at your Pochfin safe, you will then cloak up. Okay, you're going to be invisible. Hear me. Pochfin is a unique area of space where there's a chance to decloak you every couple minutes. There is a system region-wide pulse that will attempt to decloak you every couple minutes. This is unique to Pochfin. It used to be you could just cloak and come back in 15 minutes and you were good to go. You're not good to go. Do not go make a sandwich anymore. Do not leave your computer. Instead, have it on a second monitor and just be aware and listen for the decloak sound. Some of you have got the people that got to this step and stopped listening are going to be fodder for my corporation. I beg you. I'm trying to save your life, please. So after the 15-minute timer is done, okay, step 6 is you've waited 15 minutes. Why 15 minutes? Because the cry per run filaments give you a red timer. That means you can't do another filament for 15 minutes, okay? After 15-minute timer is up, you wait 15 minutes, then you are going to use a high-sec filament. What this filament looks like is the proximity filament. This is the best one. It is also the most expensive one. It is, what is it going to be? Why can't I do this? Proximity? Is that not what it's called? You can keep us in, Edler. Keep us in. Let the people see me doing stuff. Prox. No, it's right there. I don't know why it didn't come up. The proximity filament. You can keep that in, Edler. This is the proximity-5. The proximity filament takes you from Pochfin into known space. Okay? I forgot the I did proximity filament. Thank you for that. Cry filaments take you from known space to Pochfin. Proximity filaments take you from Pochfin to known space. So one takes you one way, the other one takes you the other way. This is a high-sec filament. This one has the highest chance of taking you to high-sec. It might take you to low-sec because it puts you into a proximity of the Pochfin spot. It's a bit complicated, chat, but just follow me, please. Please follow. I'm not erasing what's on screen. Just follow me. If I zoom out, I can't wait for the 2D map so I can just show you things. My God, show me, show me Kino. Show me Kino. If I go to Kino, Edler, you can keep this in. Kino, show me Kino on map. Okay, so here's Kino. This is in Pochfin. See how it's over all of these high-sec areas? Like here's Agenin, okay? If you somehow use a cry filament and you get in Kino, and then you use a proximity filament, it can plop you into any of these areas that are close to Kino. Some of the areas are close to low-sec areas. If you pop into low-sec, it's okay. You have a covert ops cloak, presumably. You have some kind of cloak. Just get the hell out of Dodge. Just keep moving until you're in high-sec. Keep in chat. Nobody knows that you have valuable cargo. Nobody knows. You can always, if it's freaking you out, dock up and come back later. No, why not just dock up and come back in a couple days? Most of low-sec is totally empty. Okay, so the final step. This is step 7. This is let's call this prox filament. Okay, the final step, and this is step 8, is you come back to market. You come back to Jitta. You come back to home. Let's call this home. You come back to your home base. This looks complicated. The alternative is you go to low-sec, somehow survive. buy the expensive BPOs, undock and gate your ship, and somehow get back to your home base. That's more dangerous. There's more steps here, but it's more safe. Okay, so I know it's a lot. Just, follow me. Let's just quickly run through it again just so we can do this. You get to nullsec. Once you're in nullsec, you undock and go to a safe. At that safe in nullsec, use a cry filament of some kind to get into Pochvin. Once in Pochvin, you warp to a planet. On the way to the planet, you make a safe. Once you're at the planet, you warp to the safe. Once you're in Pochvin, you want to get to a safe. Okay. Once you're on the safe, you want to cloak up. In Pochvin, you can get decloaked randomly because of how Pochvin is. So be aware and keep an eye on your monitor. You wait out the 15 minutes. Once the 15-minute timer is done, use a proximity filament to get you back to known space. Once you're in high sec, low sec, whatever, you then go home. Please be careful, fly dangerously, and enjoy the ISK. If you do this right, you will make a ton of ISK. The retriever blueprints are going for 2.2 billion ISK in Jitta, but they sell for 1.7 in the outer ring. So those of you that make this drive cannot just buy Pioneers. You can buy all of the ore blueprints and make a pretty penny. Look, 1.7 billion. And in Jitta, they're going for 2. I want to kind of transition to the mining changes that are coming to EVE Online, okay? The mining changes that are coming to EVE Online are, and you're already seeing it, making the prices of modules that are about mining go up. If you can make more of these machines, miner 1s, miner 2s, strip miners, whatever, these are all going to be going up in price, especially the modules that are going to be used on the Pioneer, especially the modules that are going to be used on the Destroyer level. The strip miners, I don't think these will go up in price that much because they're not going to be used on the Pioneer. See, these have they've gone down, right? They've literally gone down. The miner 2s, the miner 1s, these are going to go up in price. What I recommend you do, especially if you're an aspiring indie bro, is you go get these blueprints. These are cheap. Miner 1 blueprint is how much? The NPC order, let's go jumps. The NPC order 1 jump away is 92,000 ISK. Not 92 million, 92,000. So you can go make the margins on these on launch are going to be much higher. Buy this blueprint, go make these miner 2s. And you'll be able to make go make miner 1s and indeed do invention for miner 2s. Chat, we're going to do an invention guide tomorrow. I'm putting this video out tonight. We're going to make an invention guide tomorrow. How to take Tech 1 blueprints and turn them in to Tech 2s. We're going to literally do that tomorrow. So sub for that if you're watching this video. You could turn those miner blueprint 1s into miner Tech 2s. This is not just about the miner 1s. What about survey scanners? What about, let's make sure I spell this right. Survey scanners. Are survey scanners going up in price? Would you look at that? Yes, they are. Any modules that can be used by alphas for the Pioneer will be going up in price for the week the expansion comes out. Buy accordingly, create accordingly. By the way, hello, nurse. That is quite the margin. Chat, outbid me just a little bit, okay? Outbid me just a little bit. All right. Here's a, I didn't expect to put this in the video, but you're going to see it. Notice they're selling for 75,000, but the buy orders are 3,000. That's quite the margin. I'm going to go put a buy order in for 100 of these. And that way, when someone right-click sell alls, I'll sell them for what percentage increase is that? A large percentage. That's some uncommon value in the Loru gaming videos. If you ever see an item that is being bought for way less than it's being sold, put a buy order in, because even if I get one of these, I can make, let's see, I spend 2,600, I make 75. I mean, that's quite the upgrade. Talk about some good old-fashioned money makers. Okay, so we talked about how to get the mining blueprints. We talked about how to get the mining, the new mining ships. We talked about how to get out of Pochvin and to be able to come back with your stuff. Here's the next thing I would do. let's talk about carriers. Let's go to Omegas and bigger pilots. Let's talk about carriers for just a sec. It's been announced that carriers are going to become cheaper. So what you're seeing is that not a lot of people are selling these. 9 billion is actually expensive for a Thanatos. This is a weird thing with capital ships where they're hard to craft. And because it was announced that carriers are going to be changed, there's going to be interest in the carriers for the first week of the expansion. But they've said carriers are going to be cheaper to make. So the carriers that are going to come out the week of the expansion are going to be more expensive. 9 billion for a Thanatos is very high. They're typically 3 to 4. This is like triple the price. Okay. So if you're a capital ship indie person, you can make a pretty penny the week of the expansion, but because the cost to make the Thanatos is going and all carriers is going down, I recommend if you're trying to buy carriers, if you're watching my videos, you wait a little bit of time to buy a carrier because they're going to be even cheaper than they have been in the coming weeks and yes, months. So carrier capital makers, bit of a volatile market in the next couple weeks, but you can make a pretty penny if you do this correct. We've talked a lot about mining and carriers. So let's talk about the Odysseus. Let's talk about the Odysseus and what I believe is going to happen with the Odysseus and its impact on the market. So first of all, exploration is going to see a boom. You're going to see a lot more people exploring. You're going to see a lot more people that are going to want probe launchers. Specifically, yes, we already talked about the Sister Corp probe launcher that needs Sisters of Eve loyalty points to make. Obviously, the prices of those are going up. But even Tech 2 probe launchers, you're going to see the core probe launchers have gone up in price since the announcement. The core probe ones will still go up in price. This is a very similar thing to what we were talking about with the minor ones. Go buy these BPOs. You can get the blueprints for the core probe launcher is how many jumps away? 10 jumps away in OB for 60,000 ISK. Look, and this is a good point. You don't just have to buy BPOs to make the actual module. This is 10 jumps away. These people have bought core probe launcher 1s for 60,000 from the NPC buy order. Again, these are a year. This is an NPC. And they've gone to Jeddah and they're selling them for $1 million for 960,000. That is a massive markup. You don't have to go and buy a BPO to make the module. You can flip BPOs. This is a marketing principle I hope y'all get. People will pay for convenience. $1 million ISK to me is not a lot. Okay. $1 million ISK to me is not a lot. Okay. We're doing fine. We're doing just fine. I'd pay this price to save 20 jumps there and back. This person bought these BPOs and then sold them for a pretty penny. Obis and Losak, sure. Gotta be careful. Always be careful, chat. You are
never save an Eve.
What I'm trying to show you is you can buy BPOs to be an industry person and make the items and invent and go down that chain, or you can just flip the BPOs as is. Not to mention if these are researched. Let's go down that rabbit hole, chat, shall we? This BPO is selling for $1 million as is. But what if you want to research these and sell them for even more? You can see, remember, base BPO, 60,000, selling in Jeddah for $1 million. 10 and 20, fully researched. Blueprint going for 20 million ISK in Jeddah. They have used research to make this a better blueprint. We have a bunch of guides on my YouTube talking about how to do this. We will put my alt training guide in the description that details out how to do research and how to get it done. So I've showed you like 3 different ways in this one video to take the new expansion and go make your margins large. To go do this right. New players that want to go venture, yes, be careful, this is in Losec, into Losec and go get, let's say you get 4 of these. Really good point from Blue Gray. Let's say you buy 4 of these blueprints from OB. Go sell 2 of them for $1 million ISK. You've already made your margins back. Keep the other 2 and research them and go sell them for 10 to 20, whatever, million ISK. You've made even more money. There's a principle in Eve I want you to understand that's very important, that if you're wondering, man, the market's really volatile, what should I do? Sell half. ladies and gentlemen. You've got a bunch of prismaticite is the new ore coming out the first week. You've hit pay dirt. You've gotten really good spawns on your prismaticite. You are not sure what you should do, but the prices are really high. Will it go down? Will it go up? Sell half. That way, you secure the ISK. If it goes up, you still have half. You can sell it for more. You sell half, you've secured the ISK. If it goes down, that's okay. You made some money. That's what you should do. Sell half. Chat, type 1 if you are loving this like prep work, this marketing guides, this like strategy thinking and how you can make more ISK without even undocking your ship, just playing the market, having a good time with it. 2, chat, we have to stop. Logomorph says 2. We can't do it anymore. So Logomorph, it's good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. So last thing I want to talk about is PvP. Last thing I want to talk about is PvP. Consider getting a small gang together with your buddies and PvP. Consider getting some easy, cheap ships together. Go get 4 to 5 of your buddies. And what you're going to do is you're going to open up the community fitting tab. That's this button right here. And you're going to type, let's just see if this works. Oh, would you look at that? Go get some, here's a faction warfare PvP from iBeast 07 to you. It costs 35 million ISK and it uses some decent rockets and it does some good DPS with a scram and a web. Go get 4 to 5 of your buddies together and go get, maybe one of you gets a bubble just to be sure. Okay. Get ready to PvP. What's gonna happen is this new alpha-friendly mining ship is going to force a lot of players to go into dangerous areas of space. Alphas have only been able to fly the Venture. Now they're getting the Pioneer. These characters, and I have to say this, chat, because it's just the reality. They're gonna go into low-sec with their Pioneer, with their modules, and they're going to be very happy to have this brand new ship. And you can be the one waiting there to take them down. PvP will be spiking at the first week, and yes, the second week, ready to go. Everybody clamoring to get on a Pioneer kill mail. And even if you are in high sec, as always, you are never secure. Just be careful. Be careful, chat. Okay, it's very important. And yes, I will hydrate in just a moment. If you want to do some very effective, cheap PvP, and this is, you know what, I'd like to try some PvP, try the community tab in the in-game tool and find a ship you can fly. You don't have to fly cruisers. Here's some destroyers. Here's a destroyer for 20 million ISK. I love the Corax. Here's an Algos. Destroyers are a really good starting point for PvP because they're not too expensive and they do they do cruiser level damage and they're like half the price. This is 17 million. Doing a Thrasher is a perfect one. So check this out. You can do PvP Kikimora. Are you an Omega and you want to spend some goodies? Here's a very cheap for Kikis, 100 million ISK. Kikimora sounds good. Here's a frigate, PvP Punisher, 12 million ISK. What I'm trying to show you is, with the community tab, you don't have to guess what should I fly. If you and your buddies are like,
hey, I've been noticing a lot of Pioneers going into the low sec spot that are kind of near our base. Y'all want to get a posse together and go take those nerds out?
You can. You definitely can. And if you want more EVE Catalyst guides, we're going to put all of them right here on the day. We're going to keep up-to-date information. We're ready. The Pioneers, for the Consortium Ventures, for the Odysseus, all of those breakdowns are going to be in that playlist right there. So make sure you bookmark that playlist and sub right here. The best EVE guides. We'll see ya in the next video. Pray for me, chat. I still have a cough. Thanks very much. I'm fine. I just have a cough. Please pray for you, boy. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks very, very much.